Today, consider yourself all paid up for your share of government services. Why? Because today is Cost of Government Day. To explain all that, Grover Norquist. He's from Americans for Tax Reform. We share a birthday. He joins us live from D.C. Good morning to Grover.
Hey, Steve. Good to be with you. Happy birthday. Coming up.
Coming up in October, that's right. Cost of Government Day. Today is the day that from here forward to the end of the year, we're finally making money for ourselves, because up till today, we've been working for Uncle Sam.
Well, people are familiar with Tax Freedom Day, which usually comes around early May.
Right.
That's if you add up all the taxes that you pay, federal, state, and local, and divide it by the total national income. That's the percentage of our income as Americans that goes to the government.
Right.
But that understates the true cost of government. You have to add in deficit spending when the government spends more than it takes this year, because it will be back later to get that money out of you one way or another.
Of course.
You also have to add in the regulatory costs. So this year, we'll work 84 days to pay for federal spending. We'll work 50 days to pay for state and local spending. And state and local spending is actually increasing more rapidly in the last 5 and 10 years than federal spending. People tend to focus on Washington. It's getting worse faster at state and local level.
All right.
Add to that one thing. We're not done.
Okay.
62 days to pay the regulatory costs. Every time the legislature passes one of those regulations, now some of them are a good idea, some of them are stupid, but none of them are free. 62 days to pay the costs of regulations.
Okay, now that I'm completely depressed,
Yes.
you have, because you're all about taxes, and we pay too many, and we all feel that way. But what you've done at your organization, Americans for Tax Reform, and I went to your website, americansfortaxreform.org, and I noticed here that you have priced out, if John McCain became president of the United States, where this day would come on the calendar, and if Barack Obama were to become president of the United States, where it would come, the shorthand is, if John McCain's elected, it would be a week earlier. If Barack Obama elected, a week later.
Yes. Yeah, and that's just what they've publicly stated. Obviously, both of them have a series of proposals they've put forward, but it's a 2-week swing. It's also, when you talked about today being Cost of Government Day, that's true on average in America. If you live in New York, if you live in Connecticut or New Jersey, you have another 2 weeks now until Cost of Government Day, because New York and Connecticut and New Jersey governments are so ineffective and inefficient that they provide services at much greater costs than the average state in the United States.
Grover, I'm looking at your website, and you've broken it down. You've got a nice Excel program here that talks about McCain and Obama if elected. And the number here that just jumps out at me, if elected, Barack Obama says that he would raise the death tax to 55%.
Yes, his position is that the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts, which end at the end of 2010, should lapse. That means we go back to the status quo ante, to what existed before. The government stealing half of all the savings that you've accumulated in your life because you're stupid enough to die.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, you can check out all the facts at atr.org. Grover, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.